This is pretty big news. And I know a lot of people in here, including myself, are not big into politics. Don't believe that there's any chance of politics turning this thing around. But at the same time, this is from Bitcoin News, another sponsor of the show. Big shout out to Bitcoin News. The 2024 Republican Party platform includes defending the right to mine Bitcoin and ensure that every American has the right to self-custody of their digital assets. There's another big one in here too. No tax on tips. I think that's pretty big, honestly, considering the amount of people who are in the service industry. No tax on tips is a pretty big one. But crypto. So you can see here at the bottom, this was chapter 3 in the Republican Party's platform for the 2024 election. And you can see at the bottom here, underlined crypto. We will defend the right to mine Bitcoin and ensure every American has the right to self-custody of their digital assets and transact free from government surveillance and control. Not bad. Not bad at all. Because, and I know everybody shits on the governments and politicians, and I'm very guilty of it as well. But just ask yourself this question. If you're mining Bitcoin, if you're holding Bitcoin, if you're buying Bitcoin, if you believe in Bitcoin, would you rather have a government in your country who is friendly to it or unfriendly to it? Because it's easy to say in theory that everybody would revolt, everybody, even if they tried to ban Bitcoin, people would still hold it. And there would be a small select group of people out there, probably including a lot of us, that would do that. But for the majority of people, they're very obedient. We'll call it that. Very obedient, which is good and bad. I mean, you have to have some sort of obedience for a functioning society. But if countries went out of their way to stop Bitcoin, they couldn't stop it, but they can slow it down. They can make it very hard for people to get into Bitcoin, hold Bitcoin, and for the adoption to grow, which is part of the whole thesis here, is that supply is going to continue to go down, demand is going to continue to go up. And so it just makes a lot of sense. And it's a very good net positive that the government is being friendly to Bitcoin. It's definitely not the end all be all, but it is pretty important in my eyes anyways. So that was a big piece of news yesterday. I also wanted to highlight Cynthia Lummis. I don't know how you pronounce her name, but she went on a little bit of a tweet storm yesterday talking about Bitcoin. And I would say that Cynthia is doing pretty good work in Congress. So she said here how it started TikTok next block and how it's going. Tick, tick, boom. With a quote of the what we just talked about there. Bitcoin and the great American comeback. So I'm kind of under the belief and the opinion as well that this I know it seems like things are pretty dark in a lot of economies, a lot of countries. But I do think that the countries like El Salvador and like the US now, who do embrace Bitcoin, are going to be the ones that are going to be around in a decade from now. And these governments in these countries still have the resources, the capital to be able to put towards mining and buying Bitcoin, holding it, and using that as a reserve on their balance sheet, as Trump has been talking about. So she called it the great American comeback thanks to Bitcoin. And I really do see a path to that happening. Countries who decide to take that route are going to be the ones that succeed and are around in 10, 20 years from now.